But you went home and watched Raw. I'm very impressed. I did not have the energy to
Yes.
do so
I,
after.
I, I knew we were short ordered. We didn't really. There were some really good things on Raw last week, and we didn't cover it. Like, but I just wanted because we hadn't talked about SummerSlam, so I wanted to cover being backstage and the SummerSlam
Yeah.
experience. But I thought that maybe 4 or 5 weeks ago, I said that when Rhea first said she was off, she just didn't. And then she came out last night, and when she went to the ring, her movement when she was like in front of the hard camera was like a fucking, I don't know, panther. She had everything that makes her what she is, which is to me the best thing on the show, both shows. Probably by far my favorite character. Her, and she was spot on. And there was this anybody that follows the storyline at SummerSlam, Dominique fucked her and turned on her, and she ended up not getting the championship. And she had a line where she said that Dom, you stabbed me in the back, but I'm sure you've heard this many times in your life. It just wasn't deep enough. And I thought, good for you. Slip it by standards of practices like we used to.
Getting ready for Netflix.
Yeah, but she's and the thing is, I'll see pictures of her on Instagram because I follow her, and like with no makeup and shit, like she's a Billie Eilish pretty. But she's a different soul. She's different, but but just when it comes to just natural beauty, she's naturally very beautiful, structurally, bone structure, everything else,
Hmm.
nose, and then when she does, her makeup and becomes the character, it's so God, it's so fucking Bob Fosse, all that jazz than it is.
Dark.
Yeah, it's just
You're big sexy. She could be dark sexy.
she's a fucking stud, man.
Very good. So you watched the whole show?
Yeah, I watched the whole show. See what I don't particularly care for back and forth the promo, and then like Randy came down and started his promo. It's cool because I've never noticed, and I didn't look like Randy had ever noticed that they are singing the words to his song now.
His entrance, yeah.
Yeah, so he kind of, and maybe I haven't paid attention. As big as the fucking house, his legs are gigantic.
I was going
The
to ask you about the new Randy.
Yeah,
What's he doing? Is he
he's
changed
training
up the
hard,
regiment
man.
a little?
He just signed a 5 year extension. Gotta gotta play the game. I'll tell you what, if he's a 14-time world champion, if he wins the 15th, there'd be a chance for a 16th. Something to keep your eyes on, kids. But he just sat back and listened. Like, he had a smile on his face, like, "Oh, they're singing my shit now too." And because he's really not been on Raw that much. And then there's 2.5 minutes into it. Oh my God, I can't believe Gunter's music plays, and down he comes.
Mhm.
And they had the face off, and it was good back and forth. And then McIntyre came in at the perfect time, said he was gonna do that earlier. As soon as McIntyre came down, Orton RKO'd him, Gunter, and then out of the crowd came CM Punk, who they had said had travel problems, and attacked McIntyre, put the belt
McIntyre.
to him, beat him around the building. And what made it to me was, and I always talk about attention to details. They caught Punk backstage after the incident, and the girl that was doing the backstage said, "You said that you had flight problems, but you were on the same flight that I was to Austin." He said, "Yeah, I said next to you." And he says it was just a little white lie. It was just the fact that he lied to Kathy and told her that he was.
Tied up and yeah.
Yeah, he had. So I thought it was good. The New Day had a segment. They brought out God, what's his name? Is it Impossible Jones? What's the big black dude's name?
Before I get off him for a
Stevie
minute,
there.
Odyssey
Uh,
Jones, isn't it?
Odyssey
Odyssey? Yeah,
Jones.
Odyssey.
Sounds like something from the Cartoon Network. They just can't come up with shit, can they? The Adventures of Odyssey Jones.
Do you think
But,
Gunther is, before we get off the Gunther segment, you think he's a transitional to get this back to Orton since he's long term, or do you think there's a
I don't think
Gunther?
no. It's I think Gunther's going to have this for a while. I think there's. I think he's the guy you got to go with. You got to go with that. Plus, there's too many baby faces have belts right now.
Okay.
Got to keep it when your top guy is Cody is your undisputed champion. Then you don't want Randy having the Raw heavyweight title. You want that on a heel, and Gunther's the perfect guy to do it because Gunther's like Shawn Michaels, not in work style, but in psychology, where he can make somebody and still heel and beat them and get out of there with the belt week after week and then build his heat.
Yeah, got the answer.
They had a statistic. I don't know how real it is, but I'm pretty sure that they wouldn't have said it because it's something that I would probably look up if I was a diehard